Today, pre-algebra, we are moving on with CO15. Nope, we're on CO15. We're moving ahead. No, we're not. Right, that's correct. We're moving ahead. I wrote the book. I can decide what we do and when. So we are moving from expressions to equations now, and the difference between an expression and an equation is what? What transforms an expression into an equation? Yeah. A specific symbol, right? Because we talked yesterday about how an expression doesn't have this, but an equation will have this. James? The equal sign. The equal sign, right? So an equation is a mathematical statement comparing two values. A mathematical statement comparing two values. That looks like cow pairing. I'll write that a little bit cleaner. Comparing two values. And how it's comparing those values is saying that they're the same, that they're equal. Sometimes kids come up through the maths learning that the equal sign means the answer. It really doesn't. It means two things are the same. You know, if I ask you what is 3 plus 2, yes, the answer is 5, but really what it's saying is that 3 plus 2 is the same as 5, right? Those values are equal. 80.
What's the second word?
Mathematical.
Jeez. You should write
Yeah.
your second version all the time.
All right.
For your constructive criticism.
I appreciate it. I will reflect. I will
Stop!
improve. I will come back stronger and better than ever before. Stronger and better than ever before. So basically what we're looking at today is a very similar thing as yesterday, in that I give you an expression, I give you a value for the variable, but I also tell you what is it equal to. And you tell me, does this value for the variable work or does it not? For an example, in the expression 8n plus 22 equals 54, can n be 1? Why or why not?
22 plus 8 is 30. So it has to be 24.
Right. So what we're looking for is, does 8 times 1, and where the 1 comes from is I'm replacing n with 1, just like you did yesterday, right? But now you're actually doing something more with it. Does 8 times 1 plus 22 equal 54? And as Jillian just explained for us, 8 times 1 is 8. 8 plus 22 is 30. And 30 is unequal to 54. It is not the same as 54. Therefore, can n be 1?
No.
No.
No button.
Can everyone read that okay?
No. For once.
Yeah. No, and cannot be 1. And the reason why is right here, right? You've tested it. You've plugged 1 in for n to see if it works. Okay? Can n be 7?
No.
We're going to test it the same way that we did with the 1, right? We're going to take that 7, we're going to plug it in, and ask ourselves, does 8 times 7 plus 22 equal 54? James?
Why do we have to plug it in if it's common
It has to
sense?
be 14.
Well, because you have to plug it in to determine why do you say it's common sense?
It has to be
Because
Hold on.
8 times 7 is 56.
Right.
And 56 is over 50.
Correct. And you know that because you plugged in. You actually did the math, right? That's all I'm asking you to do, is actually do the math. You plugged it in your head. Yes, I want to see you plug it in on the paper as well. Okay? So yes, 8 times 7 is 56. Obviously, if we start with 56, could we get down to 54?
Yes.
If we were subtracting 2, we could, but we're not. We're adding 22. And that tells us that this is not equal to 54. So can n be 7? No. Can everyone read that? Okay.
You tried so hard.
Thank you. I'm already better and stronger than I was.
No.
minutes
No.
ago.
I'm not
I can feel improvement coursing through.
Just eat.
Wow. That's on video. That's on video.
For the montage. Okay. Can n be 4? Why or why not? We're going to test this the same way as we tested the other ones. We're going to plug in 4 for n and calculate, does 8 times 4 plus 22 equal 54? Well, 8 times 4 is 32. 32 plus 22 is indeed 54. So can n be 4? Yes.
There you go.
Okay. And we know that because we plugged in and we tested. Now here's my next question. Can n be anything else? We've shown n is 4 here. Can n be anything else?
No.
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 Right? There's only one number n can be because there's only one possible way to take something, multiply it by 8, add 22, and get 54. Any other number will get you something else. So had n be 1, your reason for these other ones might not be plugging it in. Your reasoning for these other ones might be already found the answer. And n can't be two different things. Okay? But that's the objective for today. Given a value, plugging it into the equation. Does it work? Is it true? Melina.
How do you use a calculator?
How you could use a calculator is when you write this expression out, rather than doing it mentally, you could go to a calculator and type in 8 times 4 plus 22 and see if it gives you.
No, but
54.
don't you have to put the parentheses in?
So that's one way to show that you're multiplying. On a calculator, it understands parentheses mean that you want to multiply, so you could type this in exactly as you see it here, or you could use the multiplication button, right? You've got options there. Or, I mean, since 8 times 4 is a mental fact, and 32 plus 22 is a mental fact, you could do it mentally. So if you wanted to check it, just make sure calculator's an option too.
But it make me feel mental.
Wait, we still have to write the equation?
Okay, what's that?
Still have to write the
You
equation?
still need to write the equation with it plugged in. Yes,
On the
indeed,
homework?
sir. On the homework,
What about
yes.
the test?
The test, no. Test is up to you. How much work you show on the test. Let's look at the next one here. -2 times the quantity 3n plus 1. Can n be 3? Does plugging 3 in for n equal 28? So start this out, -2, and then it's 3 times n. Turns out n is 3, so it ends up being 3 times 3 plus 1. All that's in parentheses, and we want to figure out, does that equal 28? So let's work through this. What do we have to do first? Order of operations. Aiden.
Multiplication.
Yes, so 3 times 3 is 9. Then we complete the parentheses by adding 1 to get 10. And that 10 gets multiplied by the -2, and that gives us what? -20. Does -20 equal 28? It does not. So, can n be 3? No. Can you read that?
No. It takes you a long time to write this.
Yeah.
He's trying to be good at trying to do good for once.
That's better.
Is that better?
Yes. Which one's the first one?
This was the first one.
Okay, well, the first one's better. Handwriting.
Yeah.
It has a little bit more squiggly lines.
I was
Other than
moving
that,
slower.
it's
I was really trying to, yeah, okay.
Mr. Schultz, you know
Room
what?
for improvement, still.
I'm gonna. You just need to like cut back on the energy drinks, cause you're just like so like little shaky after all that caffeine.
I only have one.
You have 3 a day.
Dad, it's only 8.
I'm down to 2 a day.
Well, then think about it.
Wait,
You have so much
say
caffeine.
you made
You're
it
just
there,
like,
Pat. He needs to cut
you
back.
have-
I
I don't
it's
even
not
have it
shaky
in your hand.
that bad. I was
Why does
moving
he
very,
need
very
energy
slow.
drinks
I
if
have
he's not
questions.
doing anything active?
Yeah.
This has been on my mind a little bit. And yeah, I'm pretty aggravated. Yeah, why do you need energy drink?
Why
You
did
don't
he
go
stand
outside?
in the doorway?
What's more rude? Commenting about some acne or telling your teacher to shut up?
I don't even want to start that conversation.
Probably should.
Aiden.
What is worse? You telling a student to shut up, or a student telling you to shut up?
Him telling your
Probably me
teacher to shut
telling a
up.
student, yeah.
I'll
Can
say
n be -5? Let's test it out. If we plug in -5 in for n, so we have 3 times -5 plus 1. We want to figure out, does that equal 28? Again, we're going to start with those parentheses. Multiply 3 by negative 5, which is negative 15. And then adding 1 to negative 15 gives us what? Ooh.
Oh, never mind.
14.
Negative 14, yeah. So in our parentheses, we end up with negative 14 here. Because 3 times negative 5 is a negative 15 plus 1, negative 14. And now, when we multiply negative 2 by negative 14, what do we get? Positive 28, right? We have a negative times a negative, that equals a positive. 14 and 2, whoops, not unequals 2. 14 and 2 makes 28. So indeed, negative 5 is the answer.
So we don't have to do the other problem. We can just write
So because n is negative 5, your reasoning for the third one here, can n be negative 2, is no, but why not? What is the reason why?
Because if it's a yes for an odd number, it can be a positive one.
No, if it's a yes for any other number, it can't be this, right? So can n be negative 2? No, and the reason why is because n already equals negative 5, and it can't be something else. Okay? You don't have to plug it in here because we already figured out what n can be. Yes, it.
I think you need to sing the whoopsie-doo song for the mathematical.
No, putting an extra line to the equal sign
You
is not
said
worthy of the whoopsie do.
No, I
Plus,
said
I really want to.
spelling and mathematical.
You said oops.
I spelled it right.
Yeah, but that
Sing a
looks like
whoopsie-doo
an
for
M.
you.
I want to save my voice for tomorrow.
Yeah,
No, you just messed up.
I have a job interview. For the voice.
Whatever.
If I get chosen, teaching becomes my past, and stardom becomes my future.
You're part of the
I'll
chosen.
leave it early tomorrow.
Not yet. We shall see.
You do
I don't know.
realize
Mr.
chosen
People
airline.
on Voice don't really like become super famous.
Yeah.
Some do.
Name one
Some
person.
don't.
One out
Kevin
of like 6.
Schultz.
Exactly.
No.
Nobody knows you besides
Who's
us.
Kevin
Not
Schultz?
yet.
We're the judges.
Wait till my YouTube channel explodes.
Dude, let's see this.
He's literally David Goggins.
Mr. Schultz, who's that?
Oh my.
All right. Your homework for Monday, because tomorrow with me being out, it's going to be a math packet / Khan Academy day. Your homework for Monday is pretty much the same as we did up the top. I only give you one value though. So basically, the number in bold is the number I want you to test. Okay. So in the equation, n minus 13 equals 10, can n be 3? So the number in bold is what you're testing. You are going to be plugging it in. You are going to be solving the expression on the left. 3 minus 13 is negative 10, which is unequal to positive 10, and therefore you would write no. Okay, and cannot be 3. Is there any of these you'd like to do together in the time that we have left? Jillian?
No. The n fraction -3.
Yeah.
Equals -1.
Bottom one. Last one. Okay, so n divided by -3, does that equal -1? The value that you're testing is -3. So you're going to replace n with -3, right? The number you're testing is -3, so you're replacing the variable with that number, and you're asking yourself, does -3 divided by -3 equal -1?
Correct. No, because no equals a positive.
-3 divided by -3 is positive 1. A negative divided by a negative is a positive, and because 1 does not equal -1, then n cannot be -3. Okay? James.
Can you get a little sample of your singing?
Yeah.
What would you like me to sing?
I don't know.
Taylor
Taylor
Swift.
Swift.
Taylor Swift.
No.
Yes, we need a preview.
Shake it up.
I was gonna do The Dance by Garth Brooks.
Do it.
Have you ever heard this song before?
Yeah.
No,
You
you
should
do
do
more
it
than a
once.
feeling by
And
Boston.
You should do rock.
I'm glad I didn't know.
Get the bleach.
Way it all would end.
No,
Way it all would go.
No, you're actually.
Jeez, you're
Would
getting
you turn for me?
That question.
I was
here because-
zero.
Yeah.
I would.
more enthusiasm.
I have a random thought.
Yeah.
Is there such thing as a number 1 pencil or only like number 2?
I don't know.
Why does it always have a number 2?
Real.
Life's
I
little
don't know
mysteries.
Did you know
James!
everyone does?
First of all, you're gonna get cut.
Second place.
Second one means you
Well,
need
then I'll see you on Monday.
more enthusiasm.
I should wear a peppy song.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
Taylor
You should-
Swift. Try.
I think
Mr. Schultz,
Get up
I
and
have a
burn
great
that
song
song.
recommendation. Wait.
PERMPAN.
Do that.
Mr.
I'm
Schultz,
send that song. That's what that would put me on the map for sure.
wait.
Yeah.
Schultz, wait.
Okay,
Do
Mr.
I
Schultz.
add or divide, subtract or multiply? Okay, I gotta practice. I gotta warm
You
up
have
the
to
voice
change
now.
the
That was
fit
cool.
if you're going on the voice.
Yeah.
What if I
The
just
fits are not good.
Whitney Houston?
I actually have Rick Astley! Never
I am
go.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna make you cry.
Say goodbye.
Yeah.
You sir.
Any more that we can do?
Taylor Swift.
No, we're not gonna go.
Lincoln.
If you ever do a you should go down to the music room and grab a ukulele.
Nora.
If
I have to look at the.
If you
There's-
should
So then do
Like
it.
I know it. I need
I don't even know
to
what
refresh
to
my
see.
Mr. Schultz,
Yeah.
you're gonna need a new fit if you go on the voice.
A new fit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a Fitbit.
No,
Oh
like
my gosh.
outfit.
Oh, outfit. No, I want to be me. I gotta stand out in the crowd.
Mr. Schultz,
Sounds
we're all
like
in.
you.
You
Yeah.
gotta stand out.
No, you're gonna say,
You.
yeah, I'm a local math teacher. They're like, oh, we could have guessed that.
Are you
Yeah.
actually 39?
37.
No,
39.
just like.
Any
Any
more to do? I'm trying to help you
How
with
is
your
your hair
homework.
back?
here.
There's no point.
All right.
What did you say?
Oh, yeah. How's your hair back?
On your hair.
Do it.
Genes, man, genetics. Nothing I can do about that. Jillian.
Have you okayed my song yet?
No. Did you send it to me?
Do it.
No, I said.
I don't remember what it was.
Okay, I'll do my.
What
See,
song?
this proves you're older than
No, there's none other
Find
than
an
mine.
old
Live.
song.
You're just scared of singing.
Oh, come on.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, so we're testing, folks. We're testing 3 in 8 minus 4 times the difference of n and 5. So 8 minus 4, we're plugging in 3 for n there, and we're looking, does this equation actually equal 16? Order of operations says we've got to do the parentheses first, right? So we have 8 minus 4, and in the parentheses, we've got a -2. Now, Liv, I'm glad that you brought this up, because this is one that can be a little bit tricky because of the signs, okay? In the parentheses, we can clearly see we've got a -2. What's the sign of the 4 outside of the parentheses?
Oh,
What's the sign of the 4 outside of the parentheses, James?
Times? Like times?
When I say what's the sign, I mean, is it +4 or -4?
Positive.
It's a -4, okay? Because like we've talked about, and we brought this up when we first did addition and subtraction of negatives, that subtraction sign doubles as a negative, meaning you're actually taking -4 times -2 here, okay? Bertilda, Zeke, Logan, this is important. Zeke, can you spell out your count, please? Thank you. You've got a -4 times a -2, okay? And a negative times a negative is a positive. So what this ends up being is 8 plus 8, which does indeed equal 16. So yes, 3 does work in the equation. Pay attention to those signs. They can be sneaky, okay? This subtraction sign belongs to the 4. When you do the multiplication, it's a -4 times a -2, which is +8. That's why it's +8 here, okay? It's tricky.
that makes no sense.
What doesn't make any sense about it?
Because like, let's say you have like just a regular 8 minus 4.
Yes.
You're just doing.
So the mathematical 8 minus 4, really what's going on here is you are adding a -4. Because remember, adding a negative is the same as subtraction. So that 4 is negative, right? But rather than writing plus -4, we just said, well, we'll just write -4, and it means the same thing, okay? So if you understand this, that 8 minus 4 is the same as 8 plus negative 4, it helps make more sense why the negative sign belongs to the 4. Okay? But you didn't learn that when you first learned subtraction, so now it's like super confusing because what was actually going on, you weren't taught. Which would be great if you were. Anything else?
Same.
Yeah, same. I agree. Me previews.
I gave you several and I got criticized, which I'm only going to use to reflect
Stop!
improve, and become
Mr.
stronger.
Schultz, you should be my life coach.
That's how you math, folks.
Don't
Don't
forget
forget